been a few years since the last time we chatted, and obviously that's a completely different world now. So I want to get the obligatory COVID question out the way. Personally, how have you been dealing with the whole COVID situation?
Um, in many ways, and the only way possible, facing the situation, I guess.
Mm,
It was really weird for us, of course, as Sepultura, not be able to tour because that's what we are all about, touring, being on stage as a musician. The stage is our sacred place. That's what everything happens. And
mm,
but the pandemic situation also created many new possibilities. Like SepulQuarta was on one of them, the event we did, and eventually we have an album out of it. Um, and I use my routine that I didn't have because traveling, sleeping in different places every night, and food and sleep, whatever.
mm,
Now I have a routine. I have a house. I can wake up at the same time, eat at the same place and sleep at the same place. And I'm taking advantage of that because I was always complaining that I didn't have time to study. I didn't have time to do exercise and all that
mm.
stuff. Now I do, and I'm using that very well, I have to say. And I'm studying a lot. I'm doing exercises. I'm doing meditation. I quit alcohol like a year and a half ago, even before the pandemic situation,
Mm,
which helps me a lot, to clear the mind and see new possibilities. So of course it's a tragedy. It's fucking chaotic, but at the
mm.
same time, new possibilities rise, and I'm making the best of this situation, I guess.
When touring does come back, do you think that the way that you used to tour will be changed now because of what's happened and how you've sort of changed your own personal life?
I think so. We're going to have to learn how to live and survive with this virus. I mean, it's an utopic idea that this virus is going to go away and it's going to disappear. It's not. I
Mm,
mean, we have many viruses and bacteria around the world that we have to live with.
yeah.
Yellow fever is one of them. I mean, we have to get vaccines and shots to go in certain places like India, even here in Brazil, in the Amazon forest. We
Mm,
need a shot. Otherwise, we couldn't go there and
yeah.
stuff. So, and then we're um, going through this, and it's a new situation for sure. I mean, we only have to learn how to deal with it, and daily we gather more information because I mean, a year and a half, almost 2 years going through this, and new information are rising. We getting better on dealing. More vaccines are coming, and the business is gonna have to adapt.
Mm,
I mean, we're gonna have to be safe to enjoy the show. It's be weird to be on the show and say, "Hey, don't cough on me," don't get near. It's like
yeah.
you have to be on the concert really free, and really to enjoy. So let's work for that first, and then adapt ourselves and to create the situation that we can travel and tour freely.
Obviously, one of the good things that's come out of it, as you mentioned, SepulQuarta coming out on August 13th. And this is a really fantastic idea. And obviously, there's been a lot of creativity that's come out of the COVID as far as how bands want to put out music and things like that. But to get all your friends and stuff like that to come together and perform some Sepultura classics, it must be a great idea. Who came up with the idea initially?
Yeah, the idea for the SepulQuarta, I came up with this possibility because we need to keep in touch with our fans. We weren't thinking about making an album. That
Mm,
was not our plan. Our plan was to do this event every Wednesday so we can keep in touch with our fans, play our music in this new format of everyone at their own houses, sending the audio and video, and the storyteller to remember albums and tours and stuff. So that was our goal. Every Wednesday we have something to do. We have something to do as a band to keep working as a band because we
mm,
didn't have the backstage, the tour bus, and the shows. We couldn't even rehearse. We couldn't even see each other. So our SepulQuarta event was our everything. Our backstage, our show, our stage, our everything. So he kept the band alive. He kept the band producing with an objective, working together, and he saved the band, and create a new Sepultura that was possible without the stage, without touring, which is was impossible to imagine before. And the album came later, because after the end of 2020, when we decided to stop and was enough and everything, uh, we realized we had an amazing material in our hands with the fantastic people involved. I saw the list, I couldn't believe how in the hell we could do that, you know, how we could, you know, get in touch, because was step by step. We started in April when we finished in December, you know, so we're several months, and was very, you know, every Wednesday was very unique in that sense, because we were not thinking about building an album. And in the end, we have, you know, represented there the whole career of Sepultura. We use this moment to play some side Bs or side Cs as well that we don't usually play on the road. And very unique versions, a very special album, you know, because it kind of created by itself, because we didn't plan it, but we were doing the album without knowing, let's say, you know, let's put it this way. And in the end, we organized, remixed, remastered, and we have 15 songs on the album, which is amazing. You know, it's a really cool feeling to have be doing something creatively like that on our worst times, you know, for a musician, for entertainment, you know, touring musician.
Well, I mean, it's also a great selection of tracks as well. I mean, things like Slaves of Pain, which we, you know, many people probably wouldn't have expected a song like that to be added in the list there. Who picked out the track list for the, like, was it a sort of collaborative effort as far as what you songs you wanted to play, or?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, was no general rule. Every Wednesday, like I said, was a different story. You know, we play Arise, we play Territory. Let's play some stuff, you know, from whatever. Hey, Rob Cavenstani, what's up, man? How you doing? You know, we are friends. We're friends with all of them. We were just calling, hey, we're doing this. We're thinking about doing Apes of God. It's this side B that we don't play a lot, you know. Hey, fucking great. You know, send me the files and stuff. Done. It was very easy, very fast as well for sending audio and videos, you know, to organize and to edit. We have our webmaster, which did a great job editing the videos. I mix the audio myself. I'm not even a professional mixer, but was enough, you know, to put everything in place for the event. Of course, for the album, we have a professional mixer. We mix and master everything. But for the event itself, we did ourselves. It was a homemade atmosphere, you know, between the band, the crew, the press people, the record label, and especially the fans that were watching the videos and really participating on everything. You know, was great, man. It's really spontaneous. You know, that's truly a jam, because no rehearsals, no too much thinking. We just play and that's it. You know.
Yeah, it almost seems like you kind of were going back to the roots of the band. Like you see videos of you guys performing, and it's like in your house, in your rooms and stuff like that. It's almost like you like, but back when you were starting out as kids.
That's true, man. You are the second guy who mentioned that. You know, who had that kind of feeling, and I didn't realize that, but exactly that's what it is. You know, in my room with the headphones, trying to learn the songs, listen to cassette tapes and stuff like that, not to bother, you know, my mom and dad on the other room and stuff. And it's cool. I think it is have that feeling of the garage, not even the garage, because we're not together playing together. It's just like that moment of ourselves when we're really beginning. We don't even have a band or only dreams, let's say, you know, let's dreaming about being on stage and stuff. And it's cool that it passes, it gives that feeling as well, you know, because it is very spontaneous. It's really cool.
Yeah, just on that subject then, because we have spoken a few times, but I've never had the chance to ask you, how did it all begin for you? Like, how did you actually get into music and play guitar and all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, my family was very musical, in the sense there was always music around, you know. My dad and my mom have like very diverse collection of albums. My grandma had an acoustic guitar, and she played a few folk songs from Slovenia. She came from Slovenia down to Brazil. She could speak German as well. She could sing some Austrian songs, and that was my first seeing somebody playing an instrument. You know, she knew like 4 or 5 different chords, very basic, but she could sing very beautifully. You know, so. And that actually was my first instrument that I started playing guitar, because I wanted to learn Stairway to Heaven. That was my goal, you know, my fucking impossible goal. You know, I want to play that. But of course, I started with the basic, with the chords and stuff. And my grandma was really my first guinea pig, let's say, you know, to listen to a guy who's actually learning a new instrument, which is very hard. but he was very supportive, of course. He was very positive, and he gave me a lot of motivation to keep going. And of course, listening to Queen and Kiss, and all the heavy metal and rock bands, I started playing electric guitar, and with friends in school, I formed my first band, and here I am.
There you go. Who would you credit then as a main influence for you on the guitar?
It's hard to say one main guy, but of course, Black Sabbath, Ozzy, Randy Rhoads, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, Judas Priest, heavy metal and blues, that Cream. I love that kind of stuff, But Queen and Kiss were my first bands, or my let's say my first loves in music. And I was very lucky because Queen came down to Brazil in 1981. Not so lucky because my mom didn't let me go to the show. I was too young and I was pissed off and cried and stuff. So it was terrible. But in 83, Kiss came down to Brazil, and I went to the show. So that really changed my life, to see that the Creatures of the Night tour, it was the last tour with makeup, and was a tank with Eric Carr on drums, It was a fantastic show. I still feel the fire on my face, from the pyrotechnics and stuff. And it made me sure that that was the way I want to follow, to be a musician and stuff. So Kiss, I think, and Queen are the guilt. They have to take the blame, of what I do today,
Yeah. Speaking of legends as well, you obviously got Motorhead man himself, Phil Campbell, on Orgasmatron, which is a song that you covered many, many years ago, obviously.
Yeah.
That's having someone like that must be a huge, exciting thing to have.
No doubt about it, man. I think it's my favorite. Because of that, he's a Motorhead, How can you top that? With all the respect to all the bands. But Motorhead is Motorhead, And Orgasmatron is the only non-Sepultura song on the album. We closed down the album with the song, but it's almost our song. It's almost like we adopt the song from Motorhead, It's our adopted son, And to have Phil together with us, he's our good friend, our brother. We tour so much together. Lemmy jammed Orgasmatron with us a few times, and I jammed with Motorhead, and so we are very close. And I have to say, it's a privilege, to have such a band, such an influence, so close to us, and Phil there. It makes so special. It's an honor, to have him there. It's very, very unique. We did in 92, 91 the version of Orgasmatron, which is fantastic. But it's great to have Eloy and Derek doing their rendition now together with Phil, Also, the first album that Phil did with Motorhead, was Orgasmatron. He co-wrote the song, so it's very special for him as well. So I think it was a great way to close down an album like this.
Yeah. Well, look, congratulations on this this new release. As I said before, it's a fantastic idea. I just love the concept, and obviously with the COVID stuff, it's difficult to have the touring stuff happen, but it's been a couple of years since we've last seen you in Australia, so we'd love to have you back.
Dude, don't tell me about it. I mean, we're very anxious to go back. Australia is one of the favorite places that I love to tour. We did many tours and always great. And yeah, working very hard to go back, as soon as possible. So hopefully see you soon.
Hopefully, yeah. Well, look, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it, man. And good luck and everything.
Thank you.
Hopefully, everything works out for you and all the bands in the world as well. So,
fuck yeah, man. Hopefully. Thank you very much.
No worries, man. Take care.